Thursday night revealed a coordinated three-part strategy by Republicans to shield Donald Trump from Epstein file transparency while creating the illusion of accountability. What unfolded was a masterclass in political deception, blocking real transparency measures, passing meaningless resolutions, and offering fractional releases that sound significant but reveal almost nothing. This systematic approach exposes exactly how modern politics protects powerful interests while pretending to serve public demands. The evening began with Democrats forcing another Rules Committee vote on compelling Epstein file release, the second such effort blocked by Republicans this week. The vote breakdown reveals the continuing partisan divide on an issue with overwhelming public support.
The question is on the amendment from Mr. McGovern. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. No. In the opinion, Chair, the noes have it. The amendment's not agreed to. The clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Norman. No. Mr. Norman, no. Mr. Roy. No. Mr. Roy, no. Mrs. Houchin. Mrs. Houchin, no. Mr. Langworthy. Mr. Langworthy, no. Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, no. Mr. Griffith. Mr. Griffith, no. Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack, no. Mr. McGovern.
Aye.
Mr. McGovern, aye. Ms. Scanlon. Ms. Scanlon, aye. Mr. Neguse. Mr. Neguse, aye. Ms. Ledger-Fernandez. Ms. Ledger-Fernandez, aye. Madam Chair.
No.
Madam Chair, no.
The clerk will report the total.
4 yeas, 9 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to.
The 4-9 vote represents the second consecutive day Republicans blocked Epstein transparency, while knowing they needed to offer something to their constituents who demand accountability. Republican strategy moved to Phase 2, offering fake transparency through a non-binding resolution. This calculated move was immediately exposed by conservative Republican Thomas Massie, who understood exactly what his colleagues were attempting.
Congress thinks you're stupid. The Rules Committee passed a non-binding Epstein resolution, hoping folks will accept it as real. It forces the release of nothing. Massie's brutal assessment reveals the Republican leadership's contempt for their own voters. They're offering theatrical gestures instead of substantive action, hoping their base won't understand the difference between binding legislation and meaningless resolutions. This strongly worded letter approach demonstrates how politicians create the appearance of action while carefully avoiding any requirements for actual results. The non-binding resolution allows Republicans to claim they support transparency while ensuring nothing happens. Phase 3 involved Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi joining the deception with their own announcement. Trump posted that he had asked Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. Bondi responded publicly, "President Trump, we are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts." This coordinated announcement sounds significant until legal experts explain what grand jury transcripts actually represent.
What Donald Trump said to do there is not to turn over all the Epstein files. I really want to make sure people understand the context here of what he did say he wanted released, because it is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of those files. We know from the FBI's memo last week that the entirety of the Epstein files is 300 gigabytes of information. I looked it up, I talked to a tech guy. That's equal to about 100,000 ebooks. Okay, so think about a book, 300 pages, 100,000 of those. That's how much information's in the entire Epstein file. The grand jury transcripts means the written transcript that the court reporter takes of whoever went into the grand jury and testified. So already you are leaving out tons of documents. Most witnesses, as a federal prosecutor, don't even go into the grand jury. They just talk to you in a conference room, not in the grand jury. So we're talking about 1%, 2%?
Trump and Bondi are offering to release perhaps 1 to 2% of the available information while creating the impression of full transparency. The contrast with genuine transparency efforts couldn't be starker. Representative Ro Khanna exposed the Republican strategy during House floor remarks.
Mr. Speaker, the American people, Republicans, independents, Democrats, want the Epstein files released with the victim's identity protected. Now, most people don't understand how this town works, so I'm going to try to explain this really simply. Congressman Massie and I introduced a bipartisan bill to release all the Epstein files and to make sure victims were protected. There are 10 Republican co-sponsors of that bill, including MAGA stalwarts like Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, including Lauren Boebert, including Tim Burchett. And we have the votes tonight to pass it. But what happened is in the Rules Committee, they don't want to have this vote tonight because they know they're going to lose, because they know their own members want to vote for it. What's even sillier is they had this non-binding resolution. So I thought, surely we would vote on a non-binding resolution. They don't even want to vote on the non-binding resolution in case Donald Trump gets slightly offended. They don't even want the vote on the non-binding resolution tonight. Now, the president is paying attention, not just because his favorite Congressman Thomas Massie is involved. He's paying attention, and he said, okay, let's release. He directs the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, let's release and ask the courts to release the grand jury testimony. Here's the problem. The grand jury testimony is largely about Epstein and Maxwell, not about all the rich and powerful men who abused, assaulted, and abandoned young women. Those people are still being protected. And by the way, the courts usually don't release grand jury testimony. But you know what? The president is hearing the American people. And the president knows that if there's a vote tonight, this body overwhelmingly would vote for the release of the files.
30 seconds.
Additional 30 seconds.
I need 10 seconds. This question is, whose side are you on? Today, the Democrats are on the side of the people. The Democrats are on the side of the children. There are 10 Republicans who are on the side of the people and the children, but the entire Democratic Party is on that side, and the Republicans have chosen to protect the rich and powerful men who've abused our children. It's wrong, and that's the clear difference tonight.
Khanna's analysis reveals the fundamental choice facing Congress: protect powerful interests or serve public accountability. Thursday night's events expose a systematic approach to political deception that transcends the Epstein issue. The three-part Republican strategy, blocking real transparency, offering fake alternatives, and creating minimal releases that sound significant, represents a blueprint for how modern politics protects elite interests while managing public demands. The coordination between House Republicans, Trump, and Bondi demonstrates how different branches of government can work together to create the appearance of accountability while ensuring actual protection for powerful figures. Each element of the strategy serves a specific purpose in managing public opinion without delivering substantive results. The contrast with the Khanna-Massie bipartisan bill reveals what genuine transparency looks like. With 10 Republican co-sponsors, including prominent MAGA figures, this legislation has sufficient support to pass if leadership allows a vote. The fact that leadership prevents even non-binding resolutions from reaching the floor shows their desperation to avoid any accountability pressure. The technical explanation of file sizes provides crucial context for evaluating transparency claims. When the complete Epstein files represent 300 gigabytes, equivalent to 100,000 books, offering grand jury transcripts that constitute 1% to 2% of available information isn't transparency, it's misdirection. For American democracy, this episode demonstrates how sophisticated political manipulation operates in practice. Rather than directly opposing popular demands, politicians create elaborate systems for appearing to respond while ensuring no meaningful action occurs. The choice facing voters is clear: support politicians who deliver actual transparency or accept elaborate performance art designed to protect powerful interests. The Republican strategy assumes voters won't understand the difference between binding legislation and non-binding resolutions, between complete file releases and fractional disclosures. The bipartisan nature of genuine transparency efforts proves this isn't a partisan issue. It's about whether democratic accountability applies to everyone or just those without political protection. When 10 Republicans join Democrats in demanding transparency, it shows the issue transcends party loyalty for those willing to prioritize principle over protection. The timing of these maneuvers, late Thursday night before a weekend recess, reflects classic political strategy for minimizing attention on controversial decisions. But the coordinated nature of the three-part protection scheme suggests careful planning rather than spontaneous responses. For anyone wondering whether political promises have meaning in modern America, Thursday night provided a definitive answer. Promises matter only to the extent that politicians face consequences for breaking them. Without accountability mechanisms, campaign commitments become theatrical props rather than governing principles. This three-part protection strategy reveals exactly how modern politics shields powerful interests while creating the illusion of accountability. What do you think? Can voters distinguish between real transparency and elaborate political theater? Or will this sophisticated deception successfully protect those who should face accountability? Share your thoughts on whether American democracy can survive when protection of the powerful becomes more important than serving public demands. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay informed about the political strategies that determine whether accountability applies to everyone or just those without political protection. Your engagement helps us continue exposing the gap between political performance and genuine democratic governance.